Okay, just in response to my last video that I posted with Javier Baez and Joe Mauer, I was comparing the idea that catchers don't have a lot of time when they're being asked to throw down to second. Infielders, when the ball is hit away from them and they need to get the ball out quickly, such as a slow roller or a ball up the middle, you're going to see them go, they're going to use a two-step cadence. So they feel the ball, they take 2 steps, and they throw it. You'll see lower arm slots, you'll see front foot closed because they don't have time. So catchers, because they're in a down and open position, you'll see them cheat their hips as they receive it, as you see Joe doing, but because he doesn't have time, you're going to see the front foot closed. So we have, I don't even know who this pitcher is. I can't read. Oh, this is Scott Kazmir. So Scott Kazmir throwing, he's creating time. He is the pitcher. Everything relies on him. So he's moving fast. Don't get me wrong, but everything is dictated on him. So when you see him land, as opposed to Kevin Correa on the left, you can see the difference. And I made this comment in my other video. Like, Correa doesn't clear his front hip very well. You can see a much bigger difference in hip and shoulder separation with what Kazmir is doing on the left compared to Correa on the right. So Correa unfortunately was not a good example of what we would typically see from good throwers. But because Kazmir has time, you see him clearing his hips significantly. Typically we have upright position. Catchers will be upright, and I explained that a little bit in the Mauer video, but regardless, we're going to see Kazmir expressing that. Hips are opening clearly ahead of the shoulders. Front foot is clearly pointed open. He might even open up his foot more than he needs to. This angle is hard to tell. But we're going to watch Puig do the same exact thing. So fast forward here. Going to see a better angle here. Okay, so Puig, weird, plays the ball poorly. Okay, so yes, he's still trying to get it out quickly, but because he's in the outfield, they tend to have more time and are in positions that are more suited to throwing the ball aggressively. So we're going to be in more of an upright position, and the hips are going to clear more. Even though this is a rush throw, you still see it's significantly different than what Mauer is doing. So the sense of urgency that you see Joe expressing is typically what you see catchers do, and you don't see pitchers or outfielders doing these things. Joe's front foot is closed, Puig's foot is open. This is what we do when we're trying to throw the ball aggressively. This is what you do when you look at Mauer. When you do not have as much time. You land closed because it's more important to get closed when you're in an open position, like a catcher is. The primary goal is to get the back hip loaded, to get into a closed position where outfielders and pitchers have more time. It also helps that he is picking up the ball in a sideways position. From here, because he's already closed, you're going to see the front foot be able to clear. So the main takeaway is, when you have time, make this happen. When you don't have time, don't be afraid to allow the front hip to stay closed, the front foot to land closed. And if you watch the Javier Baez and Joe Mauer comparison, you're going to see more of a sidearm slot from infielders that express these patterns.